Cheers, legends. Sammy from Short and Stout Beer Reviews. A big one we've got here. 6 beers by the legends in Western Australia, Rocky Ridge. And this is their 5th birthday glass. I've got the box of their new series, which is known as Captain Jindong. Came in this nice little box. So yeah, it's a mixed 6-pack. You've got, obviously it's a bit of a play on the Captain Planet TV series. You've got water, wind, heart, earth, fire, and Captain Jindong. And Jindong's like the town that Rocky Ridge are from in Western Australia, so that's pretty cool. So what I'm going to do is try all 6. Why not? I was meant to have beers today, and once again I've got screwed over by my bank. I've been on the phone nearly all day, wasting my holidays. It's very, very annoying. So I feel like a beer tonight instead. So the water is the first one I'm going to do. And that's the fruit sour beer. Pretty cool can artwork. And that is at 4.2%. I love how they've got on there 18 plus. Probably just because it's like something that would appeal to kids. So that's number 1. Then after that, I'm going to crack the Heart Modern Pale Ale. And that's at 5%. Then we've got Earth, which is the New World Pilsner at 5.5. So I'm obviously going in ABV. I was maybe going to mix it up and go this one before the pale, because the pale would obviously go a bit better with the IPAs being hoppy. We'll see what happens anyway. See how I'm feeling at the time. And then the Wind Hazy IPA at 6%. The artwork's so rad. Like, I wonder if they've got their own sort of artist that does their stuff, or they get someone in every now and then. So this is the one I'll be looking forward to. Fire, West Coast IPA. And that's 7.2. And then the big boy, Captain Jindong. So from what I remember, I reckon the main dude that runs Rocky Ridge has got a bit of a moustache like that. Not sure about the hair, but yeah, I reckon that's like him. His face, anyway. Correct me if I'm wrong, anyone that knows Rocky Ridge pretty well. And yeah, that's 8.5%. So that's going to be my finisher. So yeah, as I said, a take on Captain Planet. It was a TV show that was around when I was probably I don't know if it was in my childhood years or teenage years, but it was fairly popular back when I was younger anyway. So yeah, let's do it. I'm quite thirsty. So starting off with a sour. And what I'll do is I'll just have probably half a can of each one. I need like a little spot where I can sit. The coffee table's full of stuff. It's like very frustrating. Oh, yeah, I've been a bit thrown out today by first of all, I had some tradespeople turn up and I didn't know about it. That was this morning, and then yeah, I've spent all afternoon on the phone with the bank and some other team, and the beers are needed. Anyway, let's crack the first one. Hopefully everyone out there is having a decent week. Better one than mine. Look, I'm meant to be on holiday and I've got all this bloody stress. So one thing that's pretty cool is they talk about like the positives of say each title in regards to the planet. So for water, they've got. Did you know that beer is made of at least 90% water? Every drop counts. Traditionally, it takes a whopping 6 to 12 litres of water to make 1 litre of golden nectar. At Rocky Ridge Brewing Co., we've reduced this to around 3 litres, smashing the industry standard. We achieve this with initiatives like utilising ozonated air to pre-rinse cans during packaging instead of water, and investing heavily in the brewery's ability to filter and reuse your own water. And then it goes into a heap of just talking about sort of like green, like just recyclables and just like whatever way they can do to, like, I don't know, the carbon footprint sort of stuff. So yeah, let's give this bad boy a taste. I got no idea what fruits are in it. Doesn't really go into detail. On the back, it's just says natural flavors, water, hops, malt, yeast. Yeah, be interesting to see what it is. Looks like it's peach or maybe strawberry or something. But yeah, it's got like a sort of slightly pink color. Very light carbonation, light body. It's a little bit hazy. Let's go a whiff. Now I'll be able to tell what it is. It's definitely some berry. Maybe strawberry, blueberry. But yeah, there's something else there, some citrus. Hmm. Cheers, Paul. Good to see you, brother. Just on beer 1 of 6. I've had a shit of a day, so I'm looking forward to getting a little bit pissy. Yeah. Yeah, it's got some sort of citrus. So it's got, I smell like definitely some berry, maybe a couple of berries, but there's something else there as well. Anyway, I'm going in. I'm thirsty. Watermelon. I haven't had a watermelon sour for ages. That's definitely what it is. Watermelon and some sort of berries, I reckon. Bloody dog. Yeah, it's got a light base. I'd say like a grainy, biscuity sort of base. It's just like a kettle sour type thing. Berliner Weiss. But yeah, it's definitely watermelon. There's a brewery in Melbourne called Stomping Ground, and they do a range of these smash beers, and they're all sours. And I think one of the first ones they did was the watermelon one. It reminds me a bit of that. Well, it looks like it's got hardly any carbonation, but it's got like quite a prickly, like a real fizzy sort of texture as it goes down. It's quite nice. It's a good starter, good palate cleanser as well. Water. I remember the song. Yeah, I definitely get like it comes across like blueberry, and maybe it's not raspberry. It tastes like blueberry and strawberry, then with like watermelon. But yeah, it's certainly like light, refreshing. There's a little touch of sweetness, but it's more sort of like lightly sour. It's one of those like easy to drink sour beers, like an introductory level. I might go a little bit more, to be honest. It's good too because they're big cans. 1.7 standard drinks, 4.2%. Yeah, they've got their thing on the back. Their motto is "Planet Responsibly." Down to earth beer towards net zero. So they're obviously very environmental friendly. So yeah, my plans today was to sit out in the sun and relax with the dogs and have a few beers out there, and it didn't happen. So yeah, hopefully I can make up for it tomorrow. And the worst thing is I'm waking up tomorrow still not knowing if my bank stuff's been sorted yet or not. And I'm going away like just a day trip, but I obviously need need my to access to my money for this trip that I'm going to on Friday. And I feel like if I yeah, like I'm gonna have to cancel it if this bank stuff doesn't get sorted because otherwise I've got no way to pay for anything. It's just annoying, like brand new card, and it's already like causing me problems. Can't even access my own money. The joys. I feel like this would be the sort of beer you could give to like one of your lady friends and say, "Here, try a sour beer. Let me know what you think of this." Yeah, slightly wheaty, slightly grainy, biscuity, but yeah, very subtle in every way. But yeah, it was funny. Like I just couldn't pick what I was smelling, and then as soon as I tasted it, it was like that's definitely watermelon. But yeah, quite often when I've had watermelon sours, it's just been watermelon with maybe like cucumber or lime, or even sometimes I'll have like chili. Not often you'll have them with berry. But yeah, beer one. Water. So yeah, normally when I do these like side by sides, I don't sort of score them individually. I just sort of talk about each one and then pick out what my favourites were and what maybe my least favourite was. So I think I'm going to go, instead of going ABV, I just feel like the Pilsner would drink better now before I start the hoppy stuff. I mean, it could be a hoppy Pilsner, but I'm going to go the Pilsner before the Pale Ale. So yeah, the Pilsner's known as Earth, New World Pilsner. He's got the old ghetto blaster going. And yeah, 5.5%. Okie dokie. Cheers, Joey. Good to see you, brother. I'm doing some Captain Planet beers, dude. Except the main one's called Captain Jindong, which is like a town in Western Australia. Yeah, they're like brand new out by Rocky Ridge, which is one of our sort of up and coming decent breweries. I thought, stuff it, I'm going to do all six of them together. I didn't get to have the day I wanted to today with ongoing bank dramas, so I'm like, stuff it. I'm going to get loose tonight instead. Yeah. You wouldn't think so, though, probably because it's midweek. So, yeah, very clean and clear, this one. Can see through it. It's like a light straw colour. About a 2-finger head. Lively carbonation. Looks quite good. I've had quite a few sort of lagers from these guys, and they do them fairly well. Cheers, Adam. Yeah. I'll have to check it out. I remember seeing the first one you had, Christmas time, Don't Let the Bells End by the Darkness. I'm like, that's awesome. I'll have to check it out. Hump day. So yeah, let's dive in. Actually, I haven't had a smell yet. I'm getting like multi-grain bread. It's like earthy, grassy. Maybe a little touch of like lemon. It's pretty subtle on the nose. Maybe a little touch of orange as well. It's like a little hint of citrus, but it's like mainly sort of grassy, like, yeah, grassy, earthy sort of notes with like a bready backbone. Smells like it's sort of German leaning. Cheers, Lee. Good to see you, mate. Mmm. I feel like this one will be nice and it'll just ease my way into the hop forward stuff. Ooh, very clean. It's nice. It's actually got a little touch of bitterness. It's got a like peppery finish as well. Quite dry. There's even a like a white grape sort of taste to it. Maybe it's a Pilsner with Nelson or something like that in it. It's definitely got a lot more going on the palate than what it did on the nose. I wish we had Chick-fil-A. Sounds like it would be good. Cheers again, mate. Hope you're well. Oh, yeah. Cool. I'll have to check it out. Yeah, I just remember seeing the darkness and I was like, fuck yeah. So I reckon that's like one of the best Christmas songs out there, and it's obviously a band I like. I mean, I went and seen them last year. Yeah, the mouthfeel, like the body on this is like glorious. It's like sort of medium to full, if anything. Yeah, it's almost got like a touch of dankness to it. You get this sort of like musty sort of like, I don't know, like forest floor sort of feel as the bitterness kicks in at the end. I could definitely smash this type of beer all day. They've done well here. See, Rocky Ridge to me, I feel like they're one of the really good up and coming breweries in Australia. Some people really rave about them, but I still think they need a lot of work with their IPAs. But yeah, then they'll pump out like a pilsner like this, and it's like fuck yeah, like really good lager. Nah, what's that? Yeah, I'm not familiar with what that is. I don't watch hardly any TV. Cheers, Lee. Enjoy the rest of your day. Um, I don't know if we do or not, Joey. It's something I've never seen. I don't really hear people talk about it. I know Amazon, as far as people utilising it for shopping and stuff goes, it's only sort of just really kicked off here not long ago. But yeah, as far as like streaming stuff goes, we have like Netflix, Binge, Stan, Disney, and then we have like a sporting one called KO, and then you've got like Optus Sport for like English football. Um, then all the other ones are just like, yeah, I don't know. I'm not really when it comes to a lot of that shit. I've sort of gone off it as well. I really don't watch many TV shows I'm right against Hollywood movies now. I can't stand most of the new shit that comes out. I just reckon it's just shoving politics down your throat all the time now. I just get sick of them making shitty ass sequels. It's like, come up with some new shit. Oh yeah, that sounds alright. I've got a big screen TV that sits in the lounge room and doesn't get used. I used to use it for YouTube and like as a smart TV, and then the remote started playing up, and I was just like, I can't be fucked with it. I'm one of those people that has bad luck with technology, and then because I live in the country and don't have access to places quickly, it's like I just give up on stuff easily. Cheers, Kyle. Have a good day at work. I've only got a few days left of this little holiday I've got, and then back to it. Hopefully, I'll be on night shift next week. A Brown's Backers Bar in Melbourne. I'll have to check it out. What is? Do you mean as in as it's a bar that like they support the Browns and they show all their games? I know there's specific pubs in the CBD in Melbourne that like lean towards certain Premier League teams. Like when you'll be on the tram, you'll go past and people will be like, "Oh, that's the Man United pub, or that's the Liverpool pub." Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I wouldn't have thought there'd be enough people for a Browns one in Melbourne, but that's awesome. I know there's a few bars that just specialise in NFL, like they have all the big NFL games and have like Super Bowl parties and stuff, but I wouldn't have thought there'd be enough. Oh yeah, yeah. Well, that's in the suburbs. That's like a really it's like a sort of strong Jewish area, Alstonwick. It's like an older sort of suburb of Melbourne. It's quite spendy. Um, it's not like built up or anything. It's mainly housing. There's sort of like a main stretch there where you'll get like a pub and like burger joint and a couple of restaurants and cafes and stuff. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Next time I'm in that area, I'll have to check it out. It's on the other side of Melbourne from where I'm at. Yeah, it's not actually an address. Maybe that's just like if you wanted to send them, like send info or something, they've probably got an address there as well. Yeah. Well, in Australia, like when it comes to like American sport and English sport and that, people like are real passionate about it, so they'll quite often get in groups and watch stuff. It's pretty cool. I mean, if I was in the city, I'd be into stuff like that too, but obviously I'm in the country, so it's hard enough just for me to find two people where I live that actually like NFL, let alone be in a group of people that follow the same team. I've always just felt like with so many things, I just feel like I'm far ahead of everyone else. Like a lot of people, especially in the country, they're like very set in their ways and don't adapt to change and don't step outside the box. And I've always been like the complete opposite to that. I can't stand when, like, I don't know, people just do the same thing all the time and they don't travel and they don't, I don't know, they're just, it's like, what's the point of living if you're not going to have any stories and like special moments? And yeah, I'm going to the pub, I'm going to have a Palmer, and same shit every fucking week. Or just sitting at home and watching Netflix, and that's all they do. I've never been on a plane before. I've got $100,000 in the bank. It's like, yeah, because you don't fucking do anything. Get out and live. So next, so I just for especially Rob that's just chimed in. How you going? This is just the second beer, mate. So this was Earth New World Pilsner. And yeah, they're part of it's a take on Captain Planet called Captain Jindong. Jindong's a little town in Western Australia, not far from the coast, but that's where Rocky Ridge originated from. So they like to sort of take the piss out of the town and put it in a lot of their marketing and stuff. So the next one will be the Pale Ale. Called Heart. Good to see a dog featured. And yeah, this one's at 5%. Cheers, Skeeter. Yeah, it's weird, Rob, seeing you're on the other channel. I just seen the orange logo pop up, and I'm like, oh, that's different. So yeah, I'm starting to feel a little bit tipsy, which is good. Get rid of all the stress from today. Fucking Banks. So, what's the spiel on this one? Drinking our beer isn't just about enjoying a beverage. It's about backing local communities, building meaningful relationships, and supporting our team, our extended family, you. As the Punneters would say, the feeling that one person can't make a difference is the greatest obstacle of all. Thanks to so many big hearts, our small, independent, family owned business has evolved from the humble beginnings of a farm in Jindong to become a thriving community focused brewery. We treat every day as an opportunity to be the best us that we can be. That's pretty cool. Yeah, no adjuncts or anything. Just says water, hops, malt, yeast. So yeah, we're going in, and yeah, it's got a slight sort of like coppery color to it. Might even have like a touch of caramel. I was sort of hoping it was going to be more of like a West Coast pale. Yeah, it's still relatively like clear. Up, mate. Bloody dogs. One finger heads, light carbonation. We're going a whiff. Yeah, I feel like there's a touch of caramel there. Some biscuit. Hmm. It's got that colour like it's more of like a Westy pale. It's like a touch of orange, touch of grapefruit. I don't remember that game, Joe. I don't actually remember the original Nintendo that well. I think the first main one I would have played would have been Super Nintendo and the old Sega Master System. So it's grassy. There's some citrus like grapefruit, orange, maybe some apricot. It's got a bit of sweetness to it. I'm going in. What's Adam saying? Only just over. Yeah. I don't think I'll be doing that after these, though. No, I'll do that. It's been good doing them in the morning, fresh palate, and yeah, just get the day going. I really, really hope tomorrow just goes the way I want it to. Just, yeah. I'm just sick of being on the phone with the bank. Here you go, Sam. We're going to send you a new card because your bank has merged with our bank. And then you go to bloody set up the new card and it's already got fraudulent activity on it before you've even taken it out of the envelope. And that's why they've had all this trouble. They've put a block on it. And it's like some UK travel site or some shit. It was like some purchase for like £8 and it happened like a year ago. And I've only just fucking opened it from the envelope. So yeah, no one can work out what the hell's going on. And then yeah, like I've just been on the phone with like fraudulent services and the bank and it's back and forth, back and forth. And when we finally thought it was right, then I went to go shopping and pay for all this stuff and it didn't work again. I'm just like, ugh, can't even fucking access my own money. And I had a couple of $100 cash just sitting in a drawer at home and I've already used that. So it's like, yeah, I'm fucked now if it doesn't work tomorrow. But cheers. People don't understand how hard it is too if you live alone and you live in the country. You've got no one else to rely on. And you can't just pop into a bank because they don't have any branches anywhere. Most of the branches in the country they've closed down and they wonder why people get pissed off. So yeah, definitely more West Coast leaning. I love how I just tune in, go in and out from like ranting and then back to the beer. Got to keep it real. Speaking of keeping it real, has anyone heard much about Raggy? Has he slowed down or has he taken anything on board? I worry about the fella. So I watched, he popped up on a live stream and it was almost like he was taking the piss and laughing about the fact that people are like concerned about him. I thought, Raggy, people are just worried about you, brother. During December, I'll be drinking as much as him, so Nah, I won't be that bad, but probably, yeah, I'll certainly be slowing down again in January. The old Advent boxes. It was good this morning going on beer and cheese. I lost my beer and cheese virginity. So yeah, it was me, Bumpy, John and Ali, and Beer Man. That was good. I just sort of had a pretty shit pairing. I mean, they were good, like good products, but just it wasn't that exciting going together. I had a camembert cheese, so with camembert, it's like nice, but there's just not much character to it. So, and I had like a hazy IPA. So, I mean, when I had the cheese first and then drank the beer, you sort of got different characters from the beer. But when it was the other way around, it wasn't like the cheese really affected the beer taste. Yeah. John had the one of the new variants of Goose Island, Bourbon County, so I was pretty jealous. The vanilla rye one. Yeah. I reckon if it's like a real sort of sharp cheddar, goes unreal with like an imperial stout. But yeah, I definitely think like any sort of like wild ferment beer with cheese is unreal, or yeah, Belgian stuff. Um, yeah, like I've paired wild beers with heaps of different foods, and it's unreal. Like one of my favorites is pairing like wild ferment beers with like oysters and that sort of stuff. Works really well together. I've gone on another tangent again. So yeah, on Friday, I don't know if I really talked about it, but my favourite bar, Cohen Cellars, that's who I'm doing that Advent box from. They've got probably one of the most unreal tap lists they've ever had. They've got Blessed by Anchorage, which is like one of the biggest imperial stouts in the world. They're going to have that pouring that on tap. They've got a really good Bottle Logic beer as well. They've got two from Parish, a few 450 North sours. There's a couple of other bangers. Like I was just like, wow, that's phenomenal. Yeah, definitely, Rob. Like you have like an awesome like three Fontainen or something with a yeah, like any sort of just about any cheese. One combination that's unreal, but a lot of people don't like blue cheese actually goes really good with like a big roasty stout. I always thought pairing beer with chocolate would be a pretty cool thing. It was something I thought about doing on my channel just every now and then because you definitely see some people doing it when you go to like festivals and stuff. Like it'd be something if I was going to do it, I'd just do it like as an occasional thing. Maybe just do like one show every couple of months where people bring up a beer and a chocolate to go with it. Obviously, beer goes really well with different meats and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I've still got that Irish stout in the fridge from our working title. I think it's like a double Irish stout. Be interesting to see how it goes. But yeah, caramelized onion cheddar. That sounds fantastic. It's like when you get those Plowman's cheeses and they got It's like pickled onion. They got like a few different sort of flavors in them. They're really nice. Yeah, fucking ridiculous price. Like, I bet you the pour we get on tap will be ridiculous. Um, this mystery box I've got coming from the distributor, there's a good chance, or it's probably a slim chance, but maybe a fair chance. We'll go in between. There's a fair chance that there could be an Anchorage beer in that box. So I'm just like, come on, please. It would be the best thing ever if there's like a really banging like imperial stout or barley wine from Anchorage in the box. Like last year, I got Bottle Logic's Fundamental Observation in it, and I was like so impressed because that's like one of my favorite beers of all time, and it's really expensive as well. So I don't know. I'm sort of holding on to hope that I get a big Anchorage beer. Um, yeah, be good to some of the new Parish IPAs I want. I'm hoping some of them are in there. It was meant. I'm really hoping it was here today. Hopefully, it rocks up tomorrow. I don't want it to turn up when I'm in Melbourne and then it ends up going back to the supplier. Very annoyed when that happens. Yep. Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be awesome. I could do an Australian take on it and do a pavlova. I feel like it'd be all like say if you had like a real rich like chocolate mud cake or something, instead of going it with like a big stout, like bust out a maybe like a plum sour or something like that, and it'd probably go really well together. I'm I'm getting excited now, Adam. We need to start doing these beer and food shows. That'd be cool. Jeez, you'd get fucking bloated. I definitely have to do that case of EB stream again. I probably should have done it when I was on holidays, but yeah, I can't. I can't even go to the supermarket and buy a case because I've got no money. I'm broke. Yeah. What sort of cheese were they eating? That's funny. Cheers, buddy. Good to see you, mate. I'm on beer 3 of 6 of the Captain Jindong series. It's like a bit of a take on Captain Planet. Yeah, I could imagine. Yeah. It's funny though, like when you when you're like young, you're the same age as everyone else, and you're like got a big group, like big circle of friends, and like life's good. Then you're like, I don't know, you start to lose contact with some of your mates. People have partners. Like I'm still friends with like like sort of half of my schoolmates and that, but you just lose contact with a lot of them. And then like you'll have situations like say, I don't know, you might be in the workplace or just like at some event and that, and it's like you still think you're the same, like you still think you're young and I don't know, almost like trendy like you used to be. and and then like you'll be hanging around with like younger people that all sort of know each other and get on and that. And you're sort of the outcast because you're older, but you don't feel that way. And then they'll say something like, "Oh, you're old," or like, "Oh, you're similar age to my dad." Or I'm like, "Oh, fuck." it, it definitely humbles you. Ooh, sounds good. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I bet you it's like American, like your burger slices. Yeah. You got to release something, buddy, that the kids will get around, and then you got to put on their 18 plus so they don't buy it. I love the dog. Looks like it's fearing for its life. I'm gonna go a little bit more of this one, but yeah, it definitely leans more West Coast or like American style pale ale. Certainly ain't no haze. But yeah, I'm feeling a bit better now, which is good. Couple of beers, getting some shit off my chest, hanging out with some mates. Good times. One thing I meant to do was I was going to open up the today's beer for the Advent just to see what it is, to see if I want to start on it or not. Because it could be like a 15% barley wine. I'm like, ooh, maybe I'll do another review first. I do like the fact though that I don't open them early and I have them each day. Like I'm not, yeah, like some people will open it all and just like know exactly what they're gonna have each day and all that shit. Or yeah, they'll just drink them on weekends. And, yeah, yeah. It's like in my head, it's like I think, yeah, I could still take them. Yeah. When it comes to the female species, I'm more of a bum man than a boobs man. But each to their own. I mean, I still like them. He's on the jumbotron. Don't forget that. Is that what it's called? The jumbotron. You've been on it quite a few times. It's funny. I'll I've got to watch a Cabs game and just be like, ah, that's my boy. Yeah. Sometimes yeah, like I'd be the same. I'm like a big kid. Sometimes like the big kid fathers actually make really good dads. As long as you've got that sort of stern side to you as well. I just think, yeah, these days kids tend to get away with a lot of shit, and they turn into little little pricks used to getting their own way. Hmm. I suppose I better go on to the next one. Running out of room as to where to put them. So we have a hazy, a style I haven't had many of recently. So yeah, this is Wind. The hairdo, the pose, the jacket with the white and the black reminds me of Michael Jackson, but it's obviously a female. Come on. So, ooh, that smells good. It's a fair way away from my nose and smells really good. So on this one it says, pardon me, Earth is the only planet with beer that we know of. Interesting. If there are beers up on the moon, I want to get into them. I'm going to beer bomb them. We have pushed hard to reduce our CO2 emissions over the last 7 years. We have up to 60% less CO2 per litre of beer than the global industry average, and our goal is to hit zero direct CO2 emissions by 2025. Will we hit it? Maybe, with your help and the help of our CO2 reclaim unit. The fact it's banging on about that and it goes on for a long time, I'm not going to continue reading. But yeah, so this is 6% hazy IPA. Wind. Yeah, they're definitely environmental friendly, and they're sort of talking about it on each can, what they're doing to save the planet. Hence the name. What have I missed? I did all the bad things so they don't want to. Yeah, that's good, buddy. Yeah. Or you can just be a prick like my dad and, like, I don't know, big up everyone else and everyone else's kids, and then for some reason hate your own when they've done nothing wrong and they've been good kids. The old smooth criminal, I think. I do admit Alien Ant Farm did a good cover of that song. It was very enjoyable back in the day. Yeah, it'd be like having one of those beer dispensive helmets. Spaceman. I heard that song the other day. I was like, fuck, I haven't heard this since I was a kid. Yeah. Everyone vapes now. Like when I watch, like when I'm at work and we're on like breaks and that, I always sort of feel slightly jealous because there's more people out in the smokers pit smoking and chatting, and all the non-smokers, most of them are just sitting there on their phone. So it's like smoking sort of good for social and like people getting to know each other better and stuff. And I'll just be sitting there like, this is shit. Like, but anyway, like, yeah, I notice like so many of them are vaping. And whenever I watch stuff, especially in the UK, like travel shit and that, it's like, fucking hell, just about every second person there looks like they vape. Here we go. Yes. My first one was, yeah, it was obviously on tape. Um, She Drives Me Crazy by Fine Young Cannibals. I used to be absolutely obsessed with getting up every morning, like every Saturday and Sunday morning, really early to watch the countdown. And like when my favorite song at the time was starting to go up the charts and then get to number one, it used to be like the greatest thing ever. Yeah, you got that right. My boys. Yeah. Yeah, like as a non-smoker, you feel like you're missing out. Yeah. Oh, this fucking mouse. Yeah. Funky Cold Medina. Yeah. What a tune. Wild Thing. Tone Lock. Now I've got Funky Cold Medina stuck in my head. So I better explain the appearance first. I went to smell it. Haze ain't no craze. So yeah, it's like a sort of in between a yellow and orange. It's got that haze, but it's not full on. I'd say cloudy, if anything. One finger head. It did have a one finger head. It's disappeared a little bit. I'd say I'm going to say medium body, low end medium. Carbonation's pretty light. Let's go with. I feel like I could already smell pineapple just when I cracked it. Yes. Pineapple, mango, maybe some grapefruit. Smells very like sort of sweet tropical. Sort of good in a way that they don't have the hops on the can. You got no idea going in. Maybe some passion fruit. It's like a little bit of a tart edge. I'd say the base is like white bread. Dare say there's like, yeah, some oats, some flaked wheat. All the shit to make it a hazy. I've done a bit of brewing like back in the day, but yeah, because hazies have only come in the last few years, I've never brewed a hazy. I've always wanted to. I'll get back into it eventually. But yeah, it smells nice. Maybe a little bit floral as well. But yeah, it's got that sort of sweet tropical vibe. Anyway, I'm going in. I'll go to the next comment so I remember where I'm at. Cheers, boys. Mmm. It's definitely got some passion fruit, pineapple, mango, maybe even a touch of peach. It's like a soft mouthfeel, medium body. It's got that sort of slightly chalky finish. But yeah, as I said with these guys, I feel like their IPAs need a little bit of work. This one's not too bad. I feel like their IPAs can be hit or miss, but yeah, thankfully this one's good. I think I'll have to have an intermission after this one. I can feel myself breaking the seal. Okay, back to the comments. Yeah, dangerous. Groove Jet. Yes. That is such a UK banger. It's like tub thumping, Chumbawamba. There's just particular songs I hear and I'm just like, it just makes me think of the UK straight away. Yeah. Depeche Mode makes me think of Craig. He's a huge fan of them. Speaking of Craig, I hope he's all right. I haven't heard from him for a while. He messaged me a few days ago saying, sorry I missed you live, but it was around the time he was in Brum or going to Brum. So I know when he has these big sessions lately, he sort of likes to take a bit of a break afterwards, which is good. Good sort of physically and mentally. Yeah, I was the same, Joey. I used to make mixtapes all the time. Then you'd give them off to the ladies that you were fond of as a kid. Yeah. Yeah, I used to do that too. You could like shout out people, so you'd like get them to say something silly, and then you'd all be sitting there laughing, thinking it was the funniest thing ever. Yeah, they were a big thing for us when CDs first come in. You had like the fresh hits of summer, 1992, all that sort of shit. When did CDs come out? I just had that was a quick stab then when I said 92. It probably would have been mid 90s, was it? Early 90s? Can't really remember. I know cassettes were definitely 80s. Like as far as they were the thing in the 80s. They might have even come out in the late 70s. Yeah, cool. One of my best mates, I remember the way he started to try because he was from another school and he didn't know anyone, and he's obviously just taken a liking to me and my mates in a class, and we must have been talking about like GoldenEye or something. And then his opening words to me, I'll never forget. He goes, "Have you played Legend of Zelda?" So that was just the first thing he ever said to me, and then I just sort of took him under my wing. That's awesome. Why were you getting free bus tickets? Marlboros and beers. That'd be a cool name for like a stream. Bus tickets for Marlboros and beers. That's cool. I like it. Mm. Simpler times, better times. Yeah. Yeah, I was never really like that as a kid. Like I traded cards and yeah, I was never sort of one to be trying to make profit or anything at a young age. I wish I was. I always felt like I was good at being the guy that was in the middle of like fights and that, breaking them up and like trying to reason with people. And I felt like I was always the kid that like a lot of people would come to if they like wanted to talk to someone about stuff. That was always a sort of decent quality I had. But yeah, as far like whenever there were fights and that, I always felt like I was the one in the middle because I was sort of like friends with different groups of people. I mean, it sometimes can. It even happens today on YouTube. Yeah, can't say cigarettes were ever my thing either. Yep, same. I had like family members that used to smoke, and yeah, just it used to make me feel sick. And I always had like shitty sinuses and that, and get a sore throat, and it just make it worse. So like, it just never interested me at all. Like, and even like playing, like I played a lot of sport, obviously, like right up until sort of early to mid 20s. Um, we'd be playing like indoor cricket, and we'd come out of the stadium and there'd be all these people smoking right where you walk in and out, like the entrance, and it used to just make me feel sick. And I'm like, can't you just like fuck off somewhere else and smoke? Like, why do you just have to do it right at the door where like you've just finished a hard game of cricket? You're absolutely fucked. And it's like the first thing you smell as soon as you walk outside. I'm pretty sure I think it was Depeche Mode. He become mates with a guy that just happened to be like their manager or something. I think it was them. If it wasn't them, it was some other similar band. Mediocre kiss. Yeah, I love him. He's awesome. One of my favourites. Yeah, I thought it might have been mid-90s. Because as a kid, like late 80s and that, I remember having cassettes. And like early 90s was probably like the transition where it went from cassettes to CDs. Yeah, yeah. Bloody oath. Ooh, good to see you, Matt. Yeah, that's cool, dude. Let me know how it goes. Or I suppose if you're drinking it now, you probably can tell me on here. Yeah, normally they're pretty good with that sort of style. That's good that it's like a new beer, like something different. I think, but beer cartels, pretty sure beer cartel doing all right. Advent box. A lot of the other ones they just have like shitty core range beers and just beers they're trying to get rid of. Yeah, Wooden Axe, West Coast, cool. Yep, yep, cool. Yeah, it was sort of like that's weird that they like gave you bus tickets. Peacekeeper Sammy UN's. I feel like the UN would be corrupt as shit. Any fucking political thing, organization, like I don't know. I just see they were saying today that bloody Trudeau or whatever his name is from Canada has been given shitloads of money to China. It's exactly the same as our bloody premier of our state. Yeah, he had huge ties with China, and he's always over there and spoke fluent Chinese and shifty as fuck. He was the one that, like, during the pandemic, we had like the harshest laws out of anywhere in the whole world because of that fuckwit. But no, we don't want to get into politics. True. But that's the thing, like, yeah, when I was like playing sport and walking out of a fucking stadium and they're smoking right at the door, it was like people were aware with like what was going on then. So it had already been like banished from like pubs and stuff. So I remember when I first turned 18 and could, like, obviously in Australia it's 18 where you could legally drink and go out as opposed to 21 in the States. Every time I'd come home, I'd just stink of cigarette smoke. But then they changed the laws, and yeah, you couldn't smoke anymore in the pubs. And it was only about a year or two later, what? Because I remember coming home in my early 20s and never smelt like smoke anymore. It was good. Yeah. I remember when I first went for my license, my driving instructor smoked, and he'd just like smoke in the car while you're fucking going for your test. He'd say to you, "Oh, do you mind if I light up while you're driving?" But you'd feel obliged to say yes because you'd feel like if you said no, he'd probably like treat you differently. There's no way they'd do that shit now. No, I've never, I've never smoked. So when it comes to like that sort of lack of breath and all that sort of shit, like I've never sort of like, yeah, never understood it. It's funny. Uh, Back in the day, yes. These days, not so much. Kids are too busy doing this shit. But yeah, I feel like most blokes my age have certainly played plenty of sport. If they didn't play sport competitively, they were like, yeah, like out, even like surfing or bodyboarding or yeah, doing something active anyway. It's definitely a regret in life for me is giving up football early to work on weekends. If I could go back in time, I would have kept playing footy and yeah, tried to have like a red hot crack. I kept playing cricket right up until like I was mid 30s. I mean, I was fairly decent at cricket, but I was a lot better at football. Um, but yeah, hardest thing with football is once you give it up, it's really, especially once you get older, it's really hard to get that fitness back because you Australian football, in all honesty, is like one of the hardest like physical and endurance combined sports there is out there. At least with cricket, like yeah, you can sort of like take it a bit easier in cricket. I mean, if yeah, there's certain like roles you might play where you have to do a lot more, but you certainly feel it if you're an opening bowler and it's like 42 degrees heat and you're fucking fielding all day. And oh man, I don't miss that about it. Clean, clean and smooth. I hated cassettes. How frustrating was it when the tape in them fucked up? Yeah. And just the annoyance of like when you wanted to hear a song and you had to fucking go to all that effort to, but yeah, just kids these days have just got no idea how easy they have it. I used to spend hours after school making like playlists on iTunes, and even that was pretty technical, obviously, compared to taping the radio on a cassette. But I'd spend so long making these playlists and like perfecting it all, and then yeah, like Spotify and that come along, and all you do is just press it and add it, and it's like, oh, for fuck's sake. Yeah, I think I got it one of the years, but then I always get the Carwin Sellers one because it's like epic, and the Mountain Culture one I feel is pretty good as well. So it's like two's enough. The one you've got, Beer Cartel, I've always sort of thought that would be the third one I'd get if I got another, but most of the other ones are pretty shitty. But I'm going to do a quick intermission because I am busting to go to the toilet. So I will be back shortly. And we're back. I needed the Offspring music. Intermission. That was a good album. Ixnay and the Ombre. Yeah. And another thing too, Joey, is like I remember like some of my friends or some of my girlfriends at the time being smokers, and when they brought it in and they had the smoking rooms and or smoking areas and stuff, quite often you'd be out with a group of friends. Everyone would disappear and you'd be left there alone or with one other person while all the smokers would go into the room and do their thing. And it was actually quite annoying because, like, yeah, you'd spend a lot of time with these people and then they just disappear all of a sudden. Like, it used to drive me nuts. Whereas, sort of prior to that, at least everyone was still just hanging out as a group. Yeah. 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 Yeah, I remember one of the main girls I had a crush on at school. We ended up doing our Deb ball together, sort of like similar to what you guys call the prom. And yeah, like ended up doing that and I hooked up with her that night afterwards. And yeah, she was a smoker and it was the first time I'd actually hooked up with a smoker. I just remember like I hated smoking, but yeah, like probably just because I had such a crush on her, it was like it didn't concern me that she was smoking and I could taste it and she Crown Royal. Yeah, I could imagine. That's like your cheap Canadian whiskey, isn't it? Yeah, see, I my one of my ex-girlfriends got us in trouble with smoking in Thailand. Um, we're in Bangkok and they don't have fucking litter bins hardly anywhere. And anyway, she's just flicked a cigarette sort of into the drain, and like a tourist police officer's seen her do it, and she got just got done, and he's come over and he's like real aggressive, trying to like get money off us, sort of like bribe sort of thing. And I'm just like, it's not fucking happening, mate. Like, you need to provide bins. You need an area where people can get rid of cigarettes. It's like, it's ridiculous. And yeah, he's just like real aggressive and trying to sort of hold us there and stuff. And she was like real scared, and she's like, "Oh, we'll just pay it." I'm like, "We're not fucking paying it." It's like, it's ridiculous. Like, he's just a tourist policeman. He's not a real policeman. He's just trying to make fast money from you. I'm like, just fucking forget about it. I'm like, that's why you need to give up the smokes. They're fucking shit. Like, I was real angry. And then anyway, he starts walking off and he's like, follow us. And she started following. I've just quickly grabbed her and I've like chucked her on my back and just started fucking bolting through the crowd. And we got away, which was pretty awesome. But yeah, like for the next sort of 2 days, like she was on edge the whole time. I'm just like, you just got to forget about it. You got to give up the cigarettes while you're at it. Like, he was asking for like, it was like a couple of $100. It's like, that's ridiculous. Yeah. Hmm. He certainly wasn't a lady boy. He was that typical Thai military types, like sort of short and like not stout, just like short and sort of like fit looking and really aggressive and just like shouting at us. And I'm just like, fuck this guy. Because I've like spent I'd already been in Thailand previous to this time, learned a bit of the local lingo, sort of knew what to look out for and that. And because he was a tourist police officer, yeah, I'd been told by locals in the past to, yeah, not worry about them as much as your standard police. So yeah, I've been in some pretty uncomfortable situations when I've been throughout Southeast Asia. It's good though, like it's good for you. I like a bit of a challenge. I like I like to live on the edge a little. But yeah, this girlfriend, she was like, yeah, she'd be worrying too much about minor things. So that relationship was never going to work. Tuberculosis. Fucking hell! When I first went to Bangkok, trying to find a good toilet, that is a very hard, a very hard task. Apparently, Thailand's still really cheap. I sort of thought with like tourism, like booming there, sort of the last few, like yeah, since I've been anyway. But yeah, it's like during the pandemic, I know a lot of places really battled. Maybe that's what happened with them. They're still obviously getting a lot of tourists there, but I just would have thought that their prices would have went up heaps. There's certainly areas of Bali where it's no way near as cheap as what it used to be. I feel like Vietnam's sort of similar. I really need to go on another trip like that again. But yeah, it's just really hard with the two dogs. Yeah, cool. Yeah, when I did it properly too. Like a lot of people will go to Thailand or Bali or whatever, and they'll just go to like a beach area, and that's all they do. Whereas when I travel, I like to actually get in the thick of it. So yeah, I went to first time I went to Bangkok. So yeah, your main city, then up in the mountains in Chiang Mai, and did a lot of motorbike riding up there, and then went down to the south, the more touristy area. And then the second time round, I did sort of a similar thing. The more touristy they are, the less I like them. Like, yeah, I just found the real touristy areas of Thailand. I hated it. It was like, yeah, you're just seeing a lot of like dirty old men with like young ties and just very westernized. All the like bars and the shops and prices weren't even that cheap, and just the behaviour of like the foreigners, like it just and like it annoyed me. Just thinking they're better than like the locals and stuff. You definitely see a lot of arrogant fuckwits when you do a lot of travelling to these third world countries. Yeah, yeah. I love how you say dirty old man, but you like you're not even that old. I'm talking like, yeah, when I was in Thailand, there was like fucking, yeah, dudes in their like late 60s getting around with like Thai locals that would be lucky to be like 13 or 14 years old. Still in your prime, buddy. You're not that much older than me. Anyway, I better get on to the next beer. It's a good excuse to tip a few back this stream. So let's hope this one's good. West is best. I just hope this is a good one. So Fire West Coast IPA at 7.2. Ooh. I haven't had a proper dinner tonight because I had like a late lunch, and it's now approaching midnight, and I'm like, fuck, I'm getting real hungry now. I do have stuff I can cook, but it's just whether I can be bothered doing it at this time of night. Plus, I keep thinking I'll get up in the morning and my bank card won't work again, so I might need to like ration my food. So yeah, very clean and clear. Active carbonation, two finger head. I'd say like a probably a medium straw colour. Unfortunately, it looks more like a modern West Coast than an old school. But oh well, it might still be decent. Let's get a whiff. I smell pine, piney, grassy. Like a white bready backbone. There's some sort of sweet fruit there. Like it smells like lime or even like a tropical, like a guava or something like that, which is weird in a West Coast. Just getting this tropical sweetness. $103. Yeah, boy. Two fingers drink. That's funny. Yeah, as I said, it's got like a weird sort of tropical, like sweet tropical note, which is, yeah, you don't normally get in a Westie. But anyway, I'm going in, boys. Prickly carbonation, medium body. What is that fruit? It's like someone's chucked a random like sweet tropical fruit in the brew that's not meant to be there. Yes. It tastes really nice like the beer, but I just can't put my finger on what the note is. I'm fingering the note. Is it a C sharp? Ah, it's quite tasty. But yeah, just a little bit different. I'm adding a little bit more. That's about what my hair looks like at the moment, trying to grow it back. I miss my long locks. Considering I shaved it all off though, down to a number 2, like it's grown back pretty quick. I'm a hairy boy. I'm a monkey. It's going to make for a weird cuvee. Putting all these beers together. One of my dogs is having a bad dream. I don't know if you can hear him. Poor little fella. They reckon that 90% of your dog's dreams are about you. So whenever I hear him have a bad dream, I think like, oh, is he like dreaming that something's happened to me, like I haven't come back from work? Or I was watching videos earlier today. I don't know why the fuck it popped up, but it was it was people farting and their dogs' reactions. And a lot of it was like when people are like laying down on their couches and their dogs are like laying on them. Just some of the some of the dogs' reactions was so funny. Doesn't matter how old you are, farts are always funny, and even more funny if it involves pets. Captain Caveman, that's what fucking Twisted Fairy calls me. Hmm. I need a good sharp cheddar to mix with this beer, or to pair with this beer, should I say? Yeah, it's good this, but it's just got that note that I can't pinpoint. I wish I knew what hops are in it. Flame on! Fire! Uh, This is not Captain Caveman's secret hideout. Ooh, I could go some bacon and eggs. Yeah, I don't know who Captain Caveman is, but I know that that's what Twisted Fairy calls me. Yeah, she just started calling me that because, because I'm a hairy motherfucker, and it just stuck. She just calls me that all the time. But yeah, that was when I had the long hair as well as the beard. And my pubes that go to the ground. Yeah. Is it American or English? I'm assuming it's an American thing. Yeah. Cool. I'll check it out. What was it we put in the link earlier? Well, I put a link in for earlier on. Oh yeah, the Joey, if you can, send me that Cleveland Browns thing, dude. So I want to check it out. If it's in this chat here, once I finish this, I'll miss it. Matt, funny you say that, dude. They were meant to arrive early this week, but I haven't got them yet. I only got because you know how I say that I normally order their stuff each week. I think because it's Christmas time, their deliveries are taking a lot longer. And I only got the limited releases prior to those ones. I only got them yesterday. So I feel like the ones you're talking about, I won't get them till like next week. They're taking forever. Because, back in the day, I used to get mountain culture parcels within like 3 or 4 days and I'd drink them like super fresh. I remember during COVID, there was a heap of holdups and stuff like. But yeah, it's like that. It's starting to get that way again when I'm having to wait like 2 weeks or more for a package. And it's like if I end up going to Melbourne, I'll see them on the shop shelves there before I even get them myself. Yeah, I got it was the two status quo variants, and there was something else. It was like a mixed pack. And then I reckon I got a 4 pack of it might have been a West Coast IPA. All up, it was like 12 beers in that purchase. So it was a pretty good one. It would be handy to get it before the weekend. I think in the next few days, I think I'm going to do something with Rate My Beer. keep talking about having me on the show, and yeah, it'd be good to go on there. Always get on well with Paul and Michelle, and yeah, just don't know what day it's going to be, but yeah, I just wanted to make sure I had a heap of different sort of beers and ones that I didn't want to review, so I can just smash them on there. Have you tried them? Yeah. Yeah, because you're probably thinking, oh, is he going to review them so I can see what they're like? But yeah, I don't have them yet. I'm trying to think of the last mountain culture beer I reviewed. It might have been that Hyper IPA, the one with range. I've certainly got a few in the fridge. I'm waiting on one more of the Tasman beers, and then I'll do all four Tasman beers together. Um, and then they had that. I think it was the Halloween release. It's called Demon Fast Bowler. I wanted to review that just because I thought it was cool because it's like cricket themed and stuff. But yeah, most of the other stuff I'll probably just drink as is. Let's go a little more of this, shall we? Okay, here's a question for the chat. If you had the money just to buy, you have to buy one vinyl and like, yeah, just pretend you don't have any vinyls already. You've just got sort of unlimited money just to buy one vinyl. What would you pick? Say you go into a record store and every album's there on vinyl, and you just doesn't matter about money. You just get to pick whatever you want. What would you go for? Yeah, that's a good call. It's hard just to pick one. Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, I'm a huge System fan, huge Gunners fan. See, one that comes to mind for me, and I don't know if you guys are really familiar with them just because they're an Australian band, but Silverchair's Frog Stomp is one of my favourite albums of all time. Um, that would certainly be one I'd be thinking about anyway. Midnight Oil. Bit of Blink. Yep. See, another band that people sort of they seem to be divisive over, but I still think it's one of the best albums of all time. Is Red Hot Chili Peppers' Blood Sugar Sex Magic. That was fucking phenomenal. Just real funky. Like it's got 17 songs on it and they're all fucking bangers. Um, then as far as sort of your classics go, like Back in Black by AC/DC, Black Sabbath, Paranoid. Probably fucking any Led Zeppelin or Beatles record. Yeah, Californication was fucking amazing as well. Brings back good memories, Californication. It was like a good time of my life. Like it was sort of I was in like secondary school, like yeah, it seemed like the time of my life where everything was relatively easy and like I was always in good spirits. Yeah, I've always been a Blink fan. I like I was into them before they got commercial too, so it's sort of good to see their growth. And even their new album that they just brought out, I thought was pretty good. Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of. Yeah, couple of Metallica albums. See, I like. It's really hard with Metallica. Like everyone says the first four albums, but for me, the Black album's fucking amazing as well. But yeah, if I had to pick one, I used to always say Master of Puppets, but I actually feel like fuck, I'm having a blank. What's the one after Master of Puppets before Black Album? I honestly can't think of what it's called. Oh man. And Justice for All, yes. Fuck yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. I want to get an Injustice for All t-shirt. Matt's comment is gold. I've been missing the strawberry kisses. if anyone doesn't know, Nikki Webster was the little redhead in the pink dress at the Sydney Olympics. And she was sort of like the star of the show. And then she had a pop career after it that was fucking trash. She even appeared in like men's magazines and stuff, and it was like all digitally enhanced. As far as the favorite Blink album goes, Joey, I'd probably go. Is it Enema of the State? Is that the one with the fucking porn star on it? That was pretty rad. Yeah, for sure. Like I'd love doing that sort of stuff. Like I've always been really passionate about music. I keep saying to JV I need to do something with him when they do like the beer history stuff. Beer history. I'm already thinking about beer again. The like album history stuff, and they pick out who they think's elite level and all that sort of stuff. Like that's definitely my jam. All that sort of shit. Being a lover of classic rock and yeah, I thought that too. I thought Death Magnetic was all right. That fucking the I think it's track 4. It was like the main single, the sort of first song you heard off that album was fucking unreal. That's got to be one of the best comments of the night. But yeah, and Justice for All's banging. Yeah, I had one too, but now it's got like fucking holes in it everywhere. I even wore it. One of my mates had a bogan party, and I rocked up there and wearing like football shorts, a Ride the Lightning t-shirt that was all ripped and like a fucking flanny, and then I had like the flip flops on and like a VB hat or something like that. It was pretty cool. Yeah, that'd be awesome. It's album night live from Melbourne, Australia. Everybody, bring your favorite vinyl. I always think it's cool though when like bars do like vinyl nights and you rock up and yeah, you'll bring a vinyl and I think you're allowed to play a couple of songs off. Yeah, everyone has a go at playing some songs. You're pretty cool. You, you definitely get some interesting selections, especially like most of them are in like real sort of inner city trendy suburbs. So it'd be funny as fuck. Whiskey in the Jarro. Yeah, it's good cover. Yeah, it was fucking awesome that album. Yeah. Yeah, you make a good point. That's around the time where CDs were really winding down and everyone was just going digital. Yep. Yep. Yeah, good front girl, Chrissy Anford. A band like you too, like they're fucking amazing. I think they just get a lot of hate just because of Bono's like political talk. He's always like banging on, and people are like, just shut the fuck up. I've actually seen them live, and they were unreal. It would have been awesome to see In Excess with like Michael back in their heyday. Um, Matt, did you see the In Excess TV show they had? It was like a short series. It's really good. Yeah. Ooh, that's awesome. Ziggy Marley. It's a little bit different too, as like a support act. Yep. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of reggae. If you want to hear when you're baked, Joey, listen to a guy named Mattis Yahoo. He's got a song called King Without a Crown or something like that. He's a Jewish American and he sings like he's a hip hopper, but he has reggae music in the background. It'll really fucking it'll get you going. You'll love it. I should even try and find the exact. I might actually do that. I'm going to do that right now. Show the exact video. Put it in the chat. So hopefully this works. Uh oh. When to start playing it. I don't know if you've heard that or not. Check this out. Hopefully you can click on it. If not, I'll like send it to you. But yeah, fucking awesome. I've listened to it quite a few times under the influence. Yeah, that makes me sweat. Yeah, the TV thing they brought out was really good because it showed like how they come up with some of the stuff. And the intro to one of their songs that's got that real cool flicky guitar riff. He was in the he was in the cab ready to leave home because they were in a hurry to get somewhere. I think they were going to the city and they were based in the country or somewhere. And he just had this riff stuck in his head and he couldn't like get it out. And he's already paying a heap of money for this taxi to go to wherever he was going, and he was running late. And he's just like, "Look, I can't do it. I've got to go back inside and get this riff like down because I know I'm going to regret it if I don't do it now." And then yeah, it ended up being one of their biggest songs. It was just cool, like yeah, how he he was like it was just in his head at the shittest time. We've got a football team here in Australia, boys, called Port Adelaide Power, and they've got a really good like home. When they play at home, they've got this really cool thing. Like they've got real like rabid supporters. They're fucking real passionate and aggressive and that. But anyway, they'll play that song when they first come out on the ground, and everyone holds their scarves up and goes like side to side. It's fucking awesome. The whole crowd's like singing that song. It just gets you pumped up, even if you're not a fan of Port. Like you get behind it, like it's cool. Sort of reminds you of like Liverpool. You'll never walk alone, sort of thing. But yeah, I better get into the last beer. It's good that I've been going for 2 hours. I like it. At the end of the day, it's like yes, I am reviewing some beers, but like, yeah, it's more about the just the hanging out with people and the times. Yeah, that song's so overplayed for like sporting events and that. I couldn't think of it like I mean, it's an alright song, but if I'm at a sporting event and I'm there ready for my team to go out and get a win. It's like I want a song that pumps me up more than fucking bam bam bam. So good, so good. I'm doing it, boys. Beer number 6. Look at him. Look at this fine specimen. What a handsome man. Full porn mustache, mullet. It's got the he's muscly but slightly dad bodish. So yeah, this is the double IPA, Captain Jindong at 8.5. Beer number 6. Oh, looks pretty good. Not gonna lie. Look at that juicy boy. So in the camera, it doesn't look as bright orange as what it is. It's like very vibrant, bright orange. I'd say full bodied, 1 to 2 finger head. Very, very hazy. I'll have to check that out. I'm not familiar with what that is. It'll be the sort of song when I hear it, I'll know it. It's like that Penn State song. It comes on and gets you all pumped up. Yeah. No, good to hear, brother. Yeah. As long as it's decent. I love Banks. Banks for me, they're up there. Like I love mountain culture. I love Banks. I love range. Who else do I really enjoy? As far as sours, I really like Wildflower. Even Slow Lane are pretty cool. La Serene in Melbourne. Boat Rocker are good all rounders. Fox Friday, that is a brewery I'm a fan of. They are very, very good. So let's go a whiff of this, shall we? Teddy Bear Picnic. What a fine specimen. I'm certainly getting some mango. It's a tropical boy. Very similar to that other one, like mango, pineapple, passion fruit. There might even be like a white grape, like maybe some Nelson in this one. Some berry, chuck berry. One thing I was excited about is these guys, Leon's Smash Burgers out of Melbourne. They are teaming up with a pizza place that's like highly renowned, and they're doing like a smash burger pizza. It looks so fucking good. Like on the promos, it's like one of the best things you'll ever eat. It's like I am so getting that. And I thought it was on the same day I'm in Melbourne, but it's the day after. I'm like, for fuck's sake. It looks so damn good. Oh, so the beer is from Range, is it? Not Banks. So yeah, Range of Brisbane and Banks of Melbourne. But yeah, very similar. They're both favourites of mine. And they've worked together heaps, especially like with mountain culture. I find there's a female brewer at Range, and she's sort of like one of the faces of the company, and she's like real cute, like really good, like friendly chick. Like whenever they do like promo stuff and that, she's always real funny. I think she's Kiwi. Yeah, I'll never forget at a beer festival I was at, I was real keen to try a beer and they'd ran out. And she's like, "Oh, we got another keg of it, but we're not allowed to get it going until like later in the day." But she's like, "Because I know you buy our beers and you're a good bloke, I'll just give you a little taste." I'm like, "What a legend!" I actually got a Florida Gators cap today, Joey. I ordered a brand new pair of Reebok pumps. I was gonna get like another pair of Jordans because I was after some white shoes just to wear when I like, I don't know, sort of go out to decent events and want to look respectable. I've got a pair of Jordans there, but they're a bit old, a bit beaten up. I was like, I'll get another pair, especially with like some of the sales and that they have. And anyway, I come across these Reebok pumps. I'm like, ooh, always wanted a pair of Reebok pumps, and I've never had them. And they're like white with like green and like this sort of like green and yellow. Like it reminded me of Australia. I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm so getting them. So yeah, they've just turned up in the post today, and I had a Florida Gators hat because I've always, for some reason, just liked Florida Gators. So yeah, I got a hat from them, and then a Conor McGregor T-shirt. The T-shirt's random as, but it was just like a collaboration with the company, and they look pretty cool. So yeah, I'll wear these new kicks when I go to the city on Friday. I'll be looking fresh. Yeah, that would have been cool. Fucking oath. Yeah, I remember like mum and dad's best friends, they had a fair bit of money and their kids were really spoilt. I remember the two kids having Reebok pumps, and like me and my brother are just like, we'd love to have them, but it's just never going to happen. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's like sort of that slightly sweet, like juicy boy, like refreshing, easy to drink, but like punchy for like a lower ABV. Cheers, John, brother. Long time no see. I so wish I could have hung out with you on that stout thing, dude. Same old shit. I'm still having problems with this bank card. It's a pain in the ass. So I'm getting drunk tonight to not think about it. So yeah, as soon as you know how I took off from you guys and went to go shopping, I went to pay for it. My card wouldn't work. I'm like, here we go again. Luckily, I had a little bit of cash on me, and then I've come home and went to like ring them again and got stuck on the phone for at least 3 hours, just back and forth. And what they think's happened is I've got a brand new card because my bank has merged with another bank, so they've organised this new card for me. And they think that the new card that they've given me has already got fraudulent activity on it before I've even taken it out of the envelope. So I'm like, great. So it got blocked. So that's why I haven't been able to use it, even though I've activated it and all this shit. But now they're like worried that if they unblock it, that scammers are going to be able to get onto it easily and all this shit. So I'm like, well, that doesn't help me. I can't access my own money, and I'm about to go away for a couple of days in the city. It's like I live alone, I live in the country. Like I don't have any other way to get any money, and the cash that I had sitting at home, I've used during the week because this card hasn't worked all week. And yeah, then it was sort of like panic stations. They were just trying to do anything they could to help out. So yeah, they think that they've got it sorted so I can at least pay for stuff physically, like swiping it now. But I still don't. I'm still not confident. So tomorrow morning, before I go on Beer Man's All Spun Out, I'm going to go for another little stroll to the supermarket and just buy a couple of things and hope that it works. Because at least if it works, I can still make small purchases and that, and then they're going to organise a new card for me. But it's just so much fucking around. It's like I can't even access my own money because a company's gave me a fucking dodgy card. Cheers, Brevis. Good to see you, brother. Are you referring to this show now? There's been a lot of shit talk, but it's been good. Hope you're doing well, bro. Paul, how the fuck are you? Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I was saying that we are probably going to do something together on the weekend. I'm currently doing a 6 beers based on Captain Planet, but it's called Captain Jindong. Jindong's like a town in Western Australia, like south of Perth. And yeah, like Rocky Ridge are meant to be like very environmentally friendly brewery, and they're just talking about all their different aspects, and yeah, like it's pretty cool what they've done. But yeah, this one's the finisher, the double IPA. So I've gone from sober to fairly well pissy within, yeah, the stream's been going for just over 2 hours. Pretty cool. Been hanging out with Joey and Buddy most of the time. We've been talking about all sorts of shit. Been one question I put out to the chat, and I'll put it out there again. Is yeah, if money wasn't an option and you could only get one vinyl, and just pretend you don't have any other vinyls, just one vinyl you want to have to listen to, what would you pick? We reeled off a heap of different ones. I've got a fair idea of your music knowledge, Paul. I reckon I know sort of roughly what you'd pick. As far as John and Brevis go, I'd have no idea. You can definitely tell this one's gone up a level with the booze. I know you love your Angels as far as Robbie Williams goes. I know you love your Lennon and any Beatles and a bit of Kanye, George Michael. I'm onto it. I remember these things. if the shirt comes off, we know it's a strong beer. Yeah, I'll be like Simon. Come on, just give me 100 more likes. I'm gonna take off my shirt. Fucking oath I do. I've got a good memory, like a really good memory, and when it comes to stuff I'm interested in, it's even more freaky. So it can sort of like it can freak people out, the stuff that I remember. I, I take off my shirt, I'll die. Yeah. I feel like as a community though, like it's probably something a lot of us probably don't do. It's a simple thing that whenever we watch someone else, we probably should just bloody yeah, just bloody click the like button and leave a comment, and it's like pretty simple. It's just always been that, yeah. It's like you can't be fucked sort of thing. But I've found since I've started doing my own stuff, I've found I've been trying to like and comment on as many other people's stuff as I can because I sort of know that like what it's like and how it affects the algorithm and shit. Whereas back in the day, I was probably like lazy with that sort of shit. Hey, honey, is KFC open? We're go- we're going streaking. Cheers, Matt. Thanks for chiming in, brother. Always a pleasure. You'll have to let us know how some of the other beers went in that beer cartel thingo. And I'll get back. Yeah, like we'll have to discuss these status quo variants. Be interesting to see what we think. Yeah, it just comes across like desperate when you get full on like that. Yeah. One thing I do like with your streams now is how you have. Is it the world? You've got written there the world's best online pub or something like that. I'm like, yes, a bit of confidence. I like it. And here's the sun. How are you, brother? PJ and SJ. Oh yeah, yeah. I've had a heap of trouble with the bank card, so I'm drowning my sorrows tonight. But yeah, I'm going to an event in the city, like in Melbourne, my favourite bar, on Friday, and they've got all these absolute bangers from like US breweries. It's the sort of stuff like people in the US can't even get, and we're going to have it here in Melbourne. It's going to be pretty cool. So yeah, it'd be a very fun day, but let's let's hope I can actually access my funds to enjoy the day. A thumbnail for like what the thing on the weekend. It's going to be a very interesting cuvee when I put them all together. But yeah, you can definitely tell we've gone up a level in the booze on this one. Here we go. Good old Foster's. Once you taste some real Aussie beer, you'll think, the Australian beer scene's pretty decent. Like this sort of shit. This brewery far as like a comparison to like our hype breweries in Australia, like these guys would probably be, I reckon, maybe top 15 in the country at the moment. Possibly top 10. I wouldn't say top 5. There's just certain styles I feel like they need a bit of work. Cheers, Bill. Good to see you, brother. Been watching a bit of your stuff out and about. Good to see you knuckling down. You're doing well, dude. Hope you're good. Hope you're good mentally and physically. You seem like you're doing a good job. We'll have to organise something where we hang a group of us and, yeah, it doesn't involve beer, obviously. Be cool to hang out with you and Beer Man and a few of the others. I'm assuming the weather in Cali's still pretty decent, even though you're coming into winter. Oh my god, I kept clicking the wrong side of the mouse. Buddy only has 2 moves and 3 of them are the sprinkler. Coming to your nearest birthday party, PJ. Specializing in all your Robbie Williams hits. Now, when you started singing, when you and SJ started singing Let Love Be Your Energy the other day, I was like, yeah, good song. Right, said Fred. Too sexy, it hurts. Where were they from? They were UK, weren't they? Such a random name, right? Said Fred. Yeah, that's cool, dude. Good on you. Cool. Yeah, Robbie's got like heaps of fucking good tunes. I seen him like back in the day where he was just starting to sort of get like known. Um, and yeah, he'd still try and sing the high parts live. Whereas these days he tends to shy away from them. Yeah. I reckon I'm trying to think how old that I was when that song come out. I would have been primary school age, I reckon. It's just funny though, like yeah, songs like that they'll never leave you. You like you always remember. That would have been unreal. I reckon King Diamond would have like real good stage presence. Fuck, I haven't listened to Overkill for ages. They're like thrash, aren't they? Pretty sure from what I remember. King Diamond's sort of, yeah, a little bit different, but I know that he's inspired like some Metallica songs and stuff. Yep. Yeah, 91. Yep. Well, I'm going for another intermission before I urinate in my pants. I will be back in about a minute's time. And we're live. It's quiet without the boomerang guy talking. Cheers, Tanner. Good to see you, brother. Are you on All Spun Out? If so, I will join you. That's if I wake up in time. I'm on beer 6 of 6. I'm feeling a little tipsy, but probably not as much as I thought I would. I had a bit of a rough day, so I'm like, fuck it. I'm doing these 6 beers tonight. It's been good. Plenty of activity in the chat, plenty of talk about random shit. Good times. Now, where am I up to? That is the question. I think I was up to where Tanner's come in. Yeah, I thought they were, dude. I've definitely heard some of their stuff. It's just I'm not like super familiar. Bud Light time. Now all I need is for someone to go live after this, and then I can jump on their panel and just get loose. I'm currently upside down. I've got to check out this Captain Caveman. There's been a lot of discussion. Cheers. So yeah, this banger that I'm finishing on, I would probably have it in the top 3, I reckon. But yeah, I'll pick them out at the end. It's got a bit of booziness to it, but it's very good beer. you gotta you gotta get the Australian stream viewing pack add-on. It inverts the stream, otherwise Sammy would be upside down in the States and the UK. It also it sharpens up my accent, so it makes it a bit easier to understand me. And if I use any Australian lingo, it cancels it out. Yeah, come on. Someone needs to do a stream. Start her up in about half an hour. Oh yeah, cool. Another compadre. Me and Ken want to do a sour beer stream together. I think that'd be pretty cool. He's a good boy. Yeah, I know you did, bro, but I'm nowhere near where my phone is, so I won't be checking it for a while. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like me and him it's a good time. Um yeah, like with the whole because he's more of a spirits guy and I'm a beer guy and I know that he's into beer as well, but he's just not as knowledgeable about it and hasn't dabbled that far into craft beer. I know that if I can, like, I've even got him convinced to try this one drop from Sydney. They do like the real thick, like American style fruit sours. And what we want to do is try and get like the same beers and drink them together. And I just know it'll make like for a good experience. It'll be a funny show. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, that's why, like someone like Matt, for example, that was in the chat earlier. I just want more and more people like them so you can sort of build the community up. There's just, in Australia, YouTube's not as sort of popular as what it is in, say, like the UK. It'd just be cool to get just a little group of people just to get started. Yeah. Yeah, they definitely look out for each other and send each other stuff and that's what it'd be like in the Australian community. Like I would love to like all my favourite people in the UK and the US. I would love to send our finest Aussie beers to, and then they'd send them back to me. But it's just you can't do it. Customs just make it so hard. It's so pricey, so it's just never going to work. That's not a knife. Mm, I'm feeling good. Yeah, exactly. What? That's one thing, Paul. Like with Simon, Simon gets like those deliveries from that Trav in Australia, and I think there's another guy from Australia that sends him stuff. They must send them in a tube, but I just always wonder like how much they cost and how do they do it so regularly? Because yeah, he's always getting beers off those guys, and say John from Lords used to get them as well. And I was just always like, yeah, how the fuck do they do it? Because I just always thought it was way too expensive. Surely Paul Hogan. Oh, I just think if you purely base it on who the person is and knowing that they're Australian, I would think Paul Hogan. I think a lot of people probably don't realise Mel Gibson is from here. Yahoo Serious was obviously fairly big back in the day, but most people wouldn't know who he is these days. Fucking oath, buddy. That is a great call. Yes. What's that in your pocket, big boy? It's a compass. Oh! I've got to go back and watch that. That is some funny shit. Yeah, he's playing the mute. He's playing the guitar and the fucking hair frying up, and he's in that lunatic asylum. Great Southern Land. Such a good movie. Me and my brother used to watch it all the time when we were kids. Fucking awesome. I mean, Yahoo has a website named after him. £60 for 5 kilo. Fucking hell. And that's like before worrying about whether customs is going to let it through or not. Now I want to watch Young Einstein again. Fuck it. He's in Tasmania at the start with the apples. It's got like really cool scenery. Like a lot of people would have watched Young Einstein and thought, "Oh, I really want to go to Australia." Yes. When the Coke bottle hits him on the head. Nicole Kidman, fuck yeah. Which Nicole Kidman is everyone's favourite? People will probably say Eyes Wide Shut. Yeah, exactly. It's so frustrating though. Like, how annoying is it that you can't send like a care package to a friend saying like, "Happy birthday! Here's a couple of beers and some food and whatever on me." And it like, I don't know, it shouldn't cost any more than like fucking 20 Australian dollars to send a little package that's just got maybe a couple of like local snacks, a few beers, and maybe like a t-shirt or something. But no, we're going to charge you £300, and so ridiculous. Kylie Minogue, yeah. One thing me and Jagman used to always talk about is Kylie or Danny. He was team Danny, I'm team Kylie. Kylie's like a fine wine. She's got like better with age. She's looking very nice for how old she is. Cheers again, Skeeter. Good to see you, brother. Yeah. The fact that she was married to Tom Cruise doesn't help. Yeah. It's bloody ridiculous. I just don't understand, like, Yeah, where if you're sending a few things and then you chuck like 3 cans of beer in there, it's like, oh, cheers, mate, happy birthday. Nah, got to take those beers out. You can't send them. It's like you're not in it to make profit. You're just fucking sending beers to a mate to enjoy. It's like, why is so touchy about it? Yeah, he's a weirdo. I must admit, though, I did like the old Top Gun and Days of Thunder back in the day. They were great movies. Do, 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 do. So, what I'm going to do now is give you my top 3 beers out of the 6. And then I'm going to cuvee. For those of you who don't know what the cuvee is, it's when you add all the beers together into the one glass and get it in there. So, my 3 favourites, in no particular order, would be, I'm going to say the West Coast, which was fire, and that was 7.2%. I thought they did a pretty good job with that one. The big boy at the end, Captain Jindong. That sounds dirty. Jindong. He was 8.5%, double hazy IPA. And then, yeah, I was a big fan of the Pilsner. Earth, New World Pilsner. And that was 5.5. So if I had to pick, I'd probably say, yeah, either the Westie or the double IPA was number 1. I mean, most of the beers were pretty decent. But yeah, they were the sort of the 3 that I thought, yeah, pretty good. So let's do the dirty and pour them all in together. Just got to go a little bit of each. Fuck, I think I went too much of that one. Hard to get those measurements right, especially if you've had a few. I think we're going to be good. It's going to be weird putting the fruit sour in top of like all these IPAs and shit. There we go. Fuck that coriander off. When I was in Thailand, I even learnt how to say coriander in Thai, just because there was some dishes we were having and we didn't want it in there. It's known as pachi. We're like, pachi, no, no pachi. I love Thailand. I need to get back there. Cop good cup. It just smells like an epic mess. No, in all honesty, it just smells like sweet tropical fruit. It's very, very high. The tide is high. The tide is high. Who's that? Atomic Kitten. Fucking hell. Atomic Kitten didn't have any hits apart from that song. So every time they brought out an album, it'd be like The Tide is High would feature on there, and then they'd have all these other songs. But Blondie, yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's a cover. Wasn't even their song, but it was like on every album of theirs just to try and sell the album. Anyway, should I be daring and try and neck the whole thing, or should I just sippy it? I would like some advice. People help me, please. It definitely just smells like sweet tropical fruit with like a bready base. Hmm. Yeah. Okay. Just gonna sip it. Sip, savor, and enjoy. It's a complex mess, but it still tastes alright. Cuvee! Cuvee approve! Top Gun. Ooh. do, 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 do. Remember when Stone Cold went through that thing where he's like, what? 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 I used to love the WWE back in the day. There's dudes like at work, and they're like probably, I don't know, 5 to 10 years younger than me, and they still like talk about WWE like I used to love it years ago. Like real passionate, like going into detail and that. It's pretty funny. I'm like, oh boys, you just love your wrestling. They're like, fucking oath. Talking about this guy's fucking smashing this guy, and he's like pissed off because he's hooked up with his missus. Going into full detail with like the storylines and stuff. What was the song in Top Gun that when they're in the bar and he goes up and sings it, it's sort of like a lovey-dovey, like a sappy sort of ballady song? I can't think of it off the top of my head. I can only think of Highway to the Danger Zone. Do, 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 do. Now you know the one, Joey, when they go up and they sing that song to the girl in the bar. Nah, I think "Take My Breath Away" is a song when I think that's in the movie, but I think that's in a part where like yeah, like when they're already sort of hooked up, like when they're romancing together. Yes, that's the one. That's the one. You've lost that love feeling. Yeah, that is fucking epic. Just the way they go up to the girl in the bar and start singing it. It's fucking rad. Camel Clutch. Yeah, that's good. That's good we come up with that song. Fuck yeah. See now, what was it? There was something we talked about. I'm like, now I've got to watch it again or listen to it again. Now I'm thinking I got to fucking watch Top Gun again. The Iceman. Just requesting a flyby. Top Gun and Days of Thunder. There's definitely some nostalgic vibes. Take me back to my childhood where I felt like our family was pretty strong and like it was a good vibe back then. Yeah. Didn't you like Days of Thunder? I thought it was brilliant. It was unreal when they got the rental cars and they fucked the shit out of them. I'm trying to think what it was that we were talking about earlier. I was like, I need to like go back and watch that. Hmm. Anyway, can't believe this stream has been going for 3 hours. What a monstrosity. Chode. Chode encounters of the turd kind. Woo! I must admit, after the old Cuvée, it's like, ooh, I've had my fair share tonight. So who's going live? I feel like Andrew from Miscellaneous. I'm about to wrap it up. I'm getting tired. Who's going live? Sammy, you going live? Taking over. Yeah, boy. Milk, bread, and a six pack. Yes. It's a tough life, boys and girls. But yeah, I might wrap it up. Cheers, buddy. Thanks for being there throughout the night. It's been good. You and Joey have been here the whole time, talking shit and giving it back to you. It's been fun. Yeah, I was just about to. I was thinking what I was going to say next. So I'll be doing the next Advent beer, which will be, what are we on now? December 5. So it'll be day 5 of the Carwin Cellars Canbed box. I'll be doing the new beer from that, whatever it is, in approximately probably about 7 or 8 hours from now, depending on whether I go to bed now or I kick on. Who knows what's going to happen? And then I do have this big stout in the cupboard that I'm considering reviewing, but we'll see what happens. It's a bit of a banger. Yeah, before I go to Melbourne on Friday, I was thinking about doing this beer, so that could be a possibility. I've also got Beer Man's all spun out for my morning, which is sort of mid morning. Tanner, who's in the chat, he will probably be part of that. And also Bumpy and Alex, and obviously Beer Man, maybe some others. Yeah, always a good time, and it'll be the first show for the month. So yeah, we normally have a little quiz sort of thing, and there's a prize at the end of the month. So yeah, what am I thinking of now? It's been a good night. As I said, I had a really shit day just due to having to deal with the bank and a lot of issues that are out of my control. So yeah, I didn't get to hang out with the likes that I wanted to and have drinks, and yeah, I wasted my day on the phone. So I sort of made up for it tonight, which has been good. As I said, if anyone's going live after this, I might jump on for a beer or two. So I'm sort of keen to kick on for a few more. But yeah, you'll see me again in the morning, which will be nighttime for US and UK, doing the Advent beer. Hopefully, it's a dark beer. Come on, it's been mostly IPAs, so I want a dark beer. And yeah, wrap it up there. Thanks everyone for chiming in. It's been very fun, and it's gone for way longer than I thought it would, but nothing wrong with that. Always good for the watch hours. So yeah, thanks guys, and we'll see you again soon. Cheers.